Hi, everybody. All right, so I'm going to attempt to do these streams to where I can upload it to you guys so you guys can see it. If you are new to this live, I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and you do click the bell. If you miss it, of course, it's going to be recorded for you to see it, as well as super chats, $1, $2 to $5, $10, $100, whatever, is highly appreciated. And so, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right. I'd appreciate it also if you share and please give me a thumbs up. So, Wendy Williams, y'all. Wendy. Y'all need to pray for Wendy Williams. I told you guys from the start that I felt that her team was using the whole COVID situation. Okay. They was using the COVID situation as a way for her to look good in the media because I personally think that girl ain't got COVID. She was outside, smoking a little vape and going to the Verizon store, I believe it was, or the T-Mobile store to get a phone and being wheelchaired out and about. So I knew something was up, okay? And so, they came out with 3 statements. The first one was about her Graves' disease. Then it was about COVID. And then it was about that she's not returning. And so in 2 days, on Monday, this Monday coming up, there's going to be a panel guest, my friend who blocked me. It's not really my friend, but Bevy Smith is going to be one of the people on the panel. Then they're going to have Michael Yo, who's with Entertainment Tonight, Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's a legal, correspondent, I believe, as well. They're going to have Devin Symone. And so it's going to be a panel that's going to be on the show. And then Tuesday through Friday, Leah Remini is going to be on the show. Now, Wendy is smart. She don't want competition. Nick Cannon is already with the same production of her show. He's with Behar Mercury. And so she ain't trying to get a black person to replace, all right? So she gonna stick it to the lighter skin, So Leah Remini will be hosting Tuesday through Friday. Her executive producer, David Perler, said that Leah Remini is a perfect fit for the show. So we're definitely going to see how it goes. Wendy as a host is, her replacements, it's going to be very hard for them to constantly do fill-ins. So let's just hope that, she returns to the show in well blessings and we'll just see what occurs. Sharon Osbourne. Okay. This whole situation with the talk is not stopping. It's not stopping. They already hired 2 men. They hired men for the first time. They never had men hosts. It's always been a woman host. And so they took the plunge by hiring men. And they obviously are seeing a positive result about it because ratings did come out and they're doing well within the demographics of the millennial baby boomer bracket. So they're doing a little bit well. They're doing better in ratings, which is a big surprise because for years their ratings really were highly down, especially when Les Moonves ended up being fired from the show and his wife, Julie Chen, left the show as well, And so Sharon Osbourne is talking. She is talking. And so you guys know I've been in debacle with one of the employees at CBS, Nichelle Turner, who was written in an op-ed from New York Times, being the first Black woman host to be on Entertainment Tonight. Now, she was awarded this accolade after the situation with Sharon Osbourne occurred. So it was a good PR move on CBS behalf. Now, we got into it on Twitter. I personally don't feel like she is not capable for the job. I personally don't feel like she is not talented for the job. She is capable. She is talented. But CBS has a way of doing things, and more things are going to come out in the future. Now, Sharon Osbourne, this is what I mean. Sharon Osbourne sat down with Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly has a show. It's Radio Sirius XM. She has a YouTube channel linked with Radio Sirius XM. And Sharon Osbourne sat with Megyn Kelly for an hour. Now, I watched the whole hour interview, and Sharon Osbourne spilled some tea, baby. She spilled some tea on the whole situation with CBS. Now, the word on the street is Sharon Osbourne got a multi-million-dollar payout. The word on the street is, in the past, Sharon Osbourne has defended Cheryl Underwood from getting fired from her job. Okay? Now, mind you, this is a network that is supposedly supposed to be on the team of marginalized people of color or marginalized Black people, right? Supposedly, according to Sharon Osbourne, Cheryl Underwood is going to get fired because she had about 3 producers go to HR because Cheryl Underwood allegedly was angry with them. And so they had some huge disagreements behind the scenes. They took it to HR, and Sharon Osbourne went and defended Cheryl Underwood and said, hey, we do not want Cheryl to be fired. Don't fire her over this. Now, Sharon Osbourne, the outspoken, honest, real woman that she is, told CBS executives, hey, if you want me out, then it's going to be my way. If it's not going to be my way, then I'm going to tell the world what I know about this company. And the whole situation with Cheryl Underwood getting into it with producers, but not being fired, and how she told the story, I'm assuming these people behind the scenes, I don't think it was producers, I think it was camera people. These people behind the scenes were white, okay? They were white. So CBS is scared of her. They were scared. So they gave her multi-million dollars. Now, I told you guys that she was set up. And she sort of spoke about that interview. She mentioned that CBS knows Sharon Osbourne's medical history, her medical conditions. She's on medications. They know how she is. They know how neurotic that she is. And so they set this up for ratings. They set this up to explode. And in a way, there's a possibility, I personally feel, that they set this up to get rid of her. Now, there are 2 showrunners that Sharon Osbourne knew for several years that ended up setting up this debacle between Cheryl Underwood and Elaine Wilteroth, who also got exposed by Daily Mail. And Sharon Osbourne told them, you know what, I can't get past through this. You guys were supposed to be my friends, but you guys set me up. And she named the names on the show on Megyn Kelly. She named their names, okay? So you guys, we only see the TV part, okay? But I personally feel like you have to be some sort of core strategist, brand strategist, or someone that has to be in media and podcasting to understand the full extent of what really went on. This wasn't just a supposed racial issue, because there was nothing racially involved. There was nothing racially involved. Yes, there was a white woman saying, don't cry, educate me, educate me. And I could understand where Black people can just look at this and say, well, wait, hold on. This kind of looks like some 1800s AD, BC, 1900s, 1945 type of stuff. I understand and I get it. But there's more to the situation. Before this even aired, Elaine Wilteroth spoke to the producers allegedly and said, hey, we need to know evidence of what Piers Morgan said that was racially involved. And they could not find any evidence of that. But instead, they went on camera and still did what they did. And Elaine Wilteroth actually was uncomfortable talking about this before it went on air, before Cheryl and Sharon and Elaine all got into that disagreement. So this was a mess. And they ostracized this woman, Sharon. They made her look like a racist on a global level. Now, there's been rumors that she's difficult. There's been rumors that she is mean behind the scenes with her band in the music industry and so on and so forth. But let's just look at this situation. This situation is obvious. You know, there's situations with Piers Morgan. with his constant obsession with Meghan Markle. But let's forget that and not judge someone just because they have a past that you may not like. Let's look at this situation alone. And by this story coming out the way it came out, the talk executives are at fault. CBS are at fault. And Sharon Osbourne went into detail, and I wish she went into more detail, but she said in the future more is going to come out about this situation. You know, she talked about it, but not in specifics. But she talked a good much about it to Megyn Kelly. And I told you guys from the gate that this was a setup. But everybody, and a lot of you guys, sadly, unfortunately, people who are Black, they say, no, it's a racial situation. No, it's more to this. It's more. It was not a racial situation because I just told you they could not produce evidence of what Piers Morgan said racially about Meghan Markle. It was from a tweet. He undermined that she has PTSD or mental illness or depression because of his family. He undermined that, you know, maybe the family were not going to be okay if the baby comes out Black. That's her fault. Girl, you Black. You Black girl. You know that if you go into a white castle in the UK, you know you're going to be subjected to some type of racial scrutiny. You know that. And I don't feel sorry for Meghan Markle. And so not only was she set up, not only they did this for ratings, not only these two things are a part of these factors, but the other part of this factor was the interview that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry had with Oprah. CBS was under that. And so these three situations, the big one was, the biggest one was the interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry that was under the network CBS. This is what made CBS pissed off when Sharon Osbourne defended her friend Piers Morgan. She bit the hand that fed her employer, the company that she worked for CBS. And that was the reason they did what they did, because they knew this was going to happen with her, how she was going to act up on air and plunge the way she plunged on air. They knew this because they've been through this before with Carrie Ann Inaba, but she just cried. And the question was asked, why the N-word is a bad thing to say, you know? And they were all blindsided. So they made a pact at Carrie Ann Inaba's house to talk about it, and that at Sharon Osbourne's house to talk about it, that they will never blindside each other again, and they did it anyway. So that's the whole story on that. Is more to the situation. It's not just what you just saw on TV. You know, it's kind of like you implying that you watch a vlogger or you watch me and you know about my life, right? There's more to what I am on camera, and there's more to the story that was displayed on camera with the talk. And that's just true stuff. And if you don't believe that, then I don't know how else to persuade you. So that's the whole situation with Sharon Osbourne. Okay, so Joy Behar. Y'all, Joy Behar has some high-tech prejudice ways. I mean, she's from that time. She's almost 80 years old. You know, she wore blackface in the past. She calls it an homage, like she called Hilaria Baldwin taking money from Latinos as an homage, being on a Latina magazine and acting like the girl can't speak English, talking about how you say this in English. Remember how she was on that cooking show talking about how you say this in English? Cucumber, that's how you say it. And so Joy Behar is doing too much. She's being very comfortable. Yahoo News did a story that African Americans, Black people, are getting tired of Joy Behar because she's getting too comfortable on camera talking or speaking on Black issues. And this is towards the vaccine. Joy Behar said, you know, we can go back to the past with the Tuskegee Airmen where Black people were done wrong by the government. This time it's different. White people are being experimented on. So, you know, it's all done so Black people can take it. She's being too comfortable. She's getting too comfortable, okay? One moment she flips and say, well, it's the conservatives or it's the Trump-minded people or it's the Trump people that don't want to take the vaccine. And then she brings on African Americans and brings on people of color, and she talks about the Tuskegee Airmen. And a lot of Black people are being uncomfortable with her because she's like, this white woman is being is being too comfortable talking about Black issues of Black relations as if she's one of us. And Whoopi is starting to even look at her crazy. And Black people have acknowledged that in the blogs that this is what she's doing on social media. They've talked about this on social media. She's getting too comfortable. And she has prejudiced ways. I mean, there were situations in the past where she called Wendy, "Hey, colored girl," and Wendy has said that on her show. And I was dying to find that clip, but I can't find it. I guess Wendy took it off so Joy won't look bad, especially when cancer call situations. If you remember on Wendy Williams' show, when she talked about, I think she was out and about with Don Lemon. She told Don Lemon something. I think she called him rainbow or gay man or something. And she told Wendy, "Hey, colored girl," and remember Wendy was like, "I'll take it." Remember she did that? "I'll take it." This was like 4 months ago, maybe, but I think Wendy's team took the clip out because they don't want this outrage on Joy Behar. And, if you've really recalled, or if you really been a fan of Wendy, you remember Wendy and Joy Behar did this TLC collaboration show, and Wendy was at Joy's house, and Joy's friend told a Black security guard that she felt uncomfortable. "Who are you? You're scaring me." Y'all remember that? I have the clip. And so this is kind of what makes me question Joy Behar. I'm not calling her a racist woman. I just think she has some sort of level of being prejudiced, as we all. But still, it's like I can't, unfortunately, but I'm smart. I can see through her. Raven Symone said that she felt The View catfished her. And so I'm sure she felt that The View said, "Hey, we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z," but instead it got political. Candace CameronBeret also talked about The View giving her PTSD because they said this may be, more family oriented. We're going to talk about family things. We're going to talk about these type of topics. But instead they talk about political issues. Now you got to understand, these two actresses are polished, non-troublemaking people in the media. Now, for them to go on a national platform, I personally feel like The View had ruined Raven Symone's brand, especially with that whole situation with Ann Coulter. When Raven Symone told Ann Coulter, "My mama told me that if you don't have anything else nice to say, don't say anything at all." And Ann Coulter was, "Well, I'm talking about policy here. Your thing is you don't want to hire people by their name, Watermelon Drea." And that made Raven Symone look bad. This situation really made Raven Symone's brand look bad, and a lot of Black people looked at her crazy. And then she went on Oprah and even told Oprah that she's not Black, that she's an American, that her traits roots all the way to Louisiana, where I'm at. And so Oprah was like, stop the tape. So she said a lot without saying much throughout most of her career. And so by her saying these type of things where people weren't really used to her talking this way, it definitely made her look bad as an accomplished actress. It really did. It really made her look bad. So that's the whole situation on that. I do wish them well. I do wish Candace CameronBeret well. Candace CameronBeret actually caused a whole media storm with social media because she said that people should be comfortable with making a decision about taking the vax. Again, it's people's decision. Again, it is people's decision. I don't care if they don't know what's in it. It's their right to say they're uncomfortable because they don't know what's in it. And don't give me the well, you eat hot Cheetos. Well, you eat junk food and you don't know what's in junk food. No, don't give me that. Don't give me that whole BS. That's different than injecting something in your body and having that thing remain in your body for 30 days where junk food can literally be flushed out your body in 24 hours after you take a shit or after, your digestive systems do its own functioning in your body. It's different. It's different. Okay. It's different. And so she caused the media storm by saying this. People called her a Trump supporter and a Republican because she said this she's a Christian Trump supporter Republican. I don't give a damn what she is. I agree with her when she said that it's people's choice. And we are in today's world where it's like if somebody disagrees with you, I'm going to unsubscribe. I can't be your friend because you think this way. I'm going to block you on social media. When in real life, in reality, people who aren't consumed and brainwashed by corporate media hosts like The View or like CNN, they're okay with it. They're fine with it, you know, and for the most part, they're okay with it and they're fine with it. Okay, so my interview with Patty Jackson, I've gotten some mixed results about my interview with Patty Jackson. Some of you said I did a good job, that I'm a natural. Some of you guys thought it was awkward. Some of you guys thought I was pushing too far, or I was being messy because Don Lemon's a friend and so is Chris Cuomo. There is no such thing as friends in the media business. You know, Patty Jackson knew Don Lemon for, I see a video on social media with her and Don Lemon in 2013 when Don Lemon got hired with a higher position at CNN. I believe that's when he got his show that he has now, 8 years ago. And so that's her friend, you know, and so I'm not that person in the business. I'm cordial, but let me say this. I am here for a woman and I am here for men. I don't care what political party you are from. I don't care what your beliefs are religiously. I don't care what your ideologies are. I am here for men and women when sexual assault is involved, okay? Dustin Heiss filed a lawsuit against Don Lemon in July 2018. A few months later, September 2018, ironically, Don Lemon talks about his sexual assault instance on CNN, and it's still on YouTube, right? Ironically, so I guess he woke up and said, wait, hold on, a lawsuit is on my ass. Let me do some type of damage control on my platform, on my network, and talk about my sexual assault instance and talk about a friend of mine who shared her sexual assault instance. You know, he was crying, boo hoo hoo, you know. So this man filed a lawsuit. His name is Dustin Heiss. Based on his Twitter page, based on who he follows, he leans right. Seems like he's a Republican. I can go as far and say that he's allegedly a homosexual, which really doesn't matter, but I'm just trying to give you the whole description on the whole situation. Now, so he filed a lawsuit in 2019, I believe. This happened in the summer of 2018, and he filed it late in 2019. And so the case is still pending. They're going to have some type of process in the case coming November, this November coming up. And so he was at a bar. He's a bartender. Supposedly there is some type of flavor bar under Don Lemon's name at the bar called the Lemon Drop. Don Lemon offered him the Lemon Drop cocktail, right? Allegedly. The bartender declined. Don Lemon proceeded, allegedly sticking his hands down his pants, touching his genitalia, and flickering it under the guy where the guy had to back up. Now, there were witnesses. One witness involved is the bartender's boss, whose name is George Gunellis. Now, this guy, Dustin Heiss, who was allegedly assaulted by Don Lemon, is suing for emotional, mental illness, and being the joke of the party at his job. Because at first, one of the witnesses, said that he was laughing at the situation, that he joked about it, and he apologized to his employee, Dustin Heiss, who went through the situation with Don Lemon, allegedly. And so he spoke to Fox News, the bar manager, Dustin Heiss, the man who was allegedly assaulted by Don Lemon. His boss, George Gunellis, spoke with Fox News about it and said that he witnessed Don Lemon do this. Now, the lawyer, Dustin Heiss's lawyer, is very confident that this is going to look good in court, that this case is going to look good in court. And this is not about me not liking Don Lemon. I mean, because I've been honest on how I feel about him. This is not about that. This is about justice. If it happened, Don Lemon has to do whatever type of scrutiny he has to pay for. Now, there were rumors, according to a report, that Dustin Heiss, the guy that went through this with Don Lemon, asked for $1.5 million. Don Lemon declined. Then the guy mentioned that Don Lemon tried to give him a 600 or not 600, but a six-figure settlement. And the guy declined, saying this is not about money. So I'm not really sure what the situation is involved in that, because he did ask for $1.5 million, what I read, and then they offered six figures instead, and the guy declined and said it's not about money. So I'm not really sure what the issue is, but he has a witness. I don't care what the money situation is, although it does sound suspicious. You have a witness that is your boss that saw this, right? And he has other witnesses, I'm sure, that haven't came forward or that has not been in the media, right? And so whether or not, although the money situation kind of sounds a little, okay, this is kind of like suspicious how I'm reporting it. If you have witnesses involved and they saw this, case is closed. The money will be figured out, okay? So this man literally a few months later after this allegedly happened went on CNN and talked about him being sexually assaulted and talked about a friend of his being sexually assaulted and cried on air, but yet 2 months back, he did this to someone else. And so this happens, right? Not justifying it, but R. Kelly was touched, right? Wasn't that the story? Don Lemon was touched, right? But this man was drunk, I'm assuming. Don Lemon was drunk, I'm assuming. I mean, we know he likes going to them bars and seeing them drag shows. So we just going to see how that plays out in court. And I just don't like hypocrites. Another one is his friend, Chris Cuomo. That happened for sure. There's an email involved. I talked about it on my channel where Shelly, who was at the time a huge executive for the network that she worked at, Chris Cuomo was her employee. And when they were out and about, when she was no longer his boss, they met out, right, at a place. Shelly was with her husband, and he hugged her and groped her in the ass, and she pushed him off. And while he groped her, before she pushed him off, he said, I guess I can do this to you now since you're not my boss, right? Her husband saw it. And so Chris Cuomo, and this is not allegedly, Chris Cuomo emailed the husband apologizing, and he used that halfway apology saying, well, this happened when an actor, and, he was let off and he had a more serious notion. So, this wasn't really a serious thing to pursue like legal. You see how they like to use the whole lawyer tactic. Chris Cuomo and his brother, they like to use the whole lawyer thing, like their old dad, to not be sued. But baby, she is not seeking legal damages. She just wanted the world to know what he did, and I'm happy she talked about it. So it is what it is on that whole scenario, and I hope Don Lemon pays for what he did allegedly, and I hope the man gets all the money Dustin High said he asked for, because to go through this for a long time, to deal with this for a long time is very tragic with the mental situation, with probably not wanting to be with somebody sexually now because you're going through what you're going through, and you're not mentally like getting aroused to be with a partner anymore because of what Don Lemon allegedly did. So I hope he gets all the money that he deserves, and I hope Don Lemon pays if this is actually true, and it sounds true because Dustin Heiss has his witness, right? His bar manager, and I'm sure other people that saw it. But anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate it if you do subscribe and you do click the bell, so you'll be the first to know when I upload. I'm out here. Deuces. Yeah.